it's me, April Kamaya, and you have reached my review for Ready to Love, Season 4, Episode 4, Spilling the Tea. And they spilled some tea, so let's get to it. So we open up with Tommy and the ladies going to the ladies' lounge. We saw the men's lounge last episode, so now we are in the women's lounge. Very pretty setting. And Tommy sits down and basically tells him that for this week, they will be focusing on the men and they will be trying to dig a little deeper in their conversations. So the ladies are very interested in that, of course, because us ladies like to snoop, of course. I know we say we don't, but, we like to dig around and, try to find some information, if we can, especially for a guy that we might be interested in. So I think this is going to be a very fun episode and very interesting to see what we find out about some guys that we may like and some guys that we may not like that might change our minds, right? So we're going to see about that. So the next thing we see is a scene. We're at Joel's house, actually. I didn't really think that Tommy meant, I think he said dig into their houses or go into their houses and see, what you can find. But I didn't really think he meant that they were going to actually be going to their houses like this soon after meeting someone. So that was kind of interesting because I don't know how soon after like meeting men that I will be comfortable with them coming to my house. So I'm kind of interested to see if they're going to do that with the women as well, like go to their houses. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking way too much into it, but I don't know. I just found that kind of weird to kind of have people that you just met in your house. But anyway, so we see Joe's house, which is very nice looking, big, spacious. I think he has like 3 or 4 kids, so but it looks good. I'm not sure if this is the house that he lived in while he was married to the wife that passed away, so I'm not sure about that. But anyway, and Vernisha is coming over to see him, and they're gonna have a little, breakfast date. So she comes over, very cute. I like Vernisha, like her personality. They sit down and start talking. Basically, the common thread between these two are the kids. That's very obvious. I think she might have 2 or 3 as well, so I think she finds Joel more attractive because she knows that he has kids, he's taking care of his kids, he's a family man. Like she said, he lights up every time he talks about them, and vice versa, the same thing. So I think the commonality between them are the kids. And as a woman, a single woman, that's a big deal, you know. So I can see why he would jump up to her number one because, like I said, when you have kids, you're single, that's like one of the number one things you look for in a man is if he has kids, he's taking care of them. And if he doesn't have kids, is he showing interest in becoming a father? So one interesting thing he did say was that losing someone did not stop him from wanting to find love. So I thought that was really good and important to say because I think a lot of, what are they called, widows, they don't marry again. And a lot of times that what I've seen, they don't move on to someone else. So I found it very, interesting and enlightening that he said, even though that situation didn't happen, it didn't stop him from finding love. And I thought that was great. So we move on to Alexis and Choi's lunch, or I don't know what it is. And Alexis is telling us that, she already has her guard up because she already know from the last episode, we find out that Choi has been saying the same things. Like I said, he's been saying the exact same things to like 3 or 4 or 5 different women. So when they discussed it in the last episode, she wasn't too happy about it. So she already came into this date. You can already see she's trying to smile, but you can already say she's ready to like light him up. So she begins to tell him that she's been hearing from other people that he's been saying that they're his number ones to several other women. And of course, he kind of smirks and laughs about it, and she's not happy about it, doesn't think it's funny. And as you can see, as the scene plays out, you can see from the beginning to where they are now, his face has changed too, because he's, I think, thinking in his mind, like, how am I going to clean this up? So his wheels is turning. And basically he was saying that's just not him. And I'm going like, this guy crazy. Like, this guy, not even crazy, he's a narcissist. Like, for real. Like, I can see what you doing. You think you slick, and you got caught up. I don't know why you didn't think the other ladies were going to talk to each other to find this out, but they did. So, yeah, he's going to have to do a lot of explaining to a bunch of women if he wants to stay. So, I'm going to keep my eye out on Choi, because I think he's going to be leaving this episode. I hope he does, because I don't like him at all. So next we see Amber, and she is going on a date with Chris at a boxing ring. So they're going to do a few boxing exercises and so on and so on. They go and sit down and start talking about each other's personal lives a little bit. And Amber actually expresses that she was adopted at 5 years old and has recently connected with her biological sister. And Chris was kind of connected to that because he had a similar kind of situation. He wasn't adopted, but his dad had 11 kids, y'all. 11 kids by 9 different women. So as you probably can see, that he probably didn't grow up with most of his siblings, which he stated, because later they had a family reunion, and he said he went to the reunion so he can meet his other siblings. So they have that kind of similarities as far as family life in common. And she also expresses something that she hasn't told anybody else in the show, that she is also a DA, district attorney. So that's a good ass job. Like, good career. Like, she's making like a lot of money. Like, dang. Whew, district attorney, yes. So I know Chris in his mind was like, damn, because the reason why he was kind of kicked off the last episode was because he said that whole thing with, financially, kind of being 50-50. So it's kind of interesting, that she told him she's a district attorney, because they make a lot of money, But I'm not in Chris's bank account, so I don't know how much he has either. And it's not always about money, so there you go. Next, we have an interesting date with David and Stacy at some sort of like, she said Pilates place, but I don't know. They had some kind of like, not a trapeze, but they had some kind of machines, and in my head I thought Pilates was something else, so correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, I guess that was Pilates, but in my head it was different. So, but anyway, they did that for a little bit, and she's instructing him on different movements, and it didn't look fun, but I would go to something like that. So they sit down and they start talking about what they want in the relationship. And of course, David has expressed that his ultimate goal is marriage, and so does Stacy. But Stacy also expresses she has trust issues, and David was like asking, like, what type of trust issues do you have? Like, do you need passwords to the phone, to like social medias, and passcodes to your phone, and stuff like that. And she was like, no, I don't do all that. She wants privacy, and she was kind of trying to tell him the difference. She understands that transparency and being good communicators is needed in a relationship, but she said she also wants her privacy. And I think David, as she said, took it the wrong way, because he feels like when you're married, everything is open. Like, that's your best friend. You should be open and vulnerable in that situation when you're married. And so in his head, he took it as her maybe being secretive. Like, if I want privacy, in his head is like, maybe she's keeping secrets. And I don't think that's what she meant, but in his head, I think that's how he took it. I think both can be true. I'm not married, so I don't have a feeling on it. Like, I know what I will feel right now, but I'm not married, so I don't have no experience in being married and wanting to know. Because right now, like, in my relationship, I don't need a password. We don't have those issues. So in a marriage, I feel like I will do the same thing and it not be an issue, but I don't know. A lot of marriages are not like that. A lot of marriages are more open and, have passwords and stuff. So I'm not really sure. I think either way you feel about it could be right. So next we have a group date, y'all. A small group date. This one just has Alexis and Jason and Liz and AJ. And they play like this beanbag toss game. And Liz and AJ end up winning. So they go into their perspective corners and chat a little bit more. And Alexis and Jason start talking. And basically she was describing her love language, which is time. And she says, if you show her your time, that you value her time, that shows her that you love her. And I guess during the course of their talking, she noticed that they were sitting far apart, not really cozy and chummy to a person that you would think is someone you were interested in. So she said, she thinks that he needs to relax a little bit more, but that he's still in her top. And I think he had mentioned that earlier, that is kind of different to kind of switch to seeing a parent to seeing someone that you might be interested in. So I think that's why he's giving off those type of vibes, so that could be a part of it. So I don't think it's necessarily that he doesn't like her. I just think it's kind of awkward. Like, I can imagine like seeing like my son's coach for 2 or 3 years, and then all of a sudden, like, he's across from me and we're trying to be kind of romantic. So I can kind of see how that can kind of throw him off. So I think give him some time, and then we'll see if he's still like that. Then it's probably because he just don't like you. Then we go over to Liz and AJ, and their conversation was not more serious, but she was expressing that. Or actually, what did she ask? She asked, how does he feel about sex before marriage? And he said, wait, are you celibate? And she said, no, she's abstinent, which is kind of the same thing, right? Abstinent, celibate. Isn't that the same thing? Being celibate, right? Did I get that right? He asked her, she states, what? That's the same thing. He asked you celibate, and she said, no, yes, I don't know. Anyway, she said she's abstinent. And I think basically in this whole scene, basically he says that sex is important to have that sexual chemistry. Like, you can't really teach that. But he did also state that he has waited before in the past. But again, he feels that sex chemistry is important. So he will probably want to know that before he gets married. And she obviously is disappointed in that. But, it is what it is. So Chrysanthemum and Ronald go on a date, and they are playing, jumbo-sized versions of games that we all play and love. One of them was Connect Four, and I think Jenga was the other one. And they kind of start talking about Ronald going to jail since he was 18, or not since he was 18. He went to jail at 18. I didn't really get much from their conversation. Just the fact that he feels that she's like more of a traditional woman, and he's okay with that, like as far as like being taken care of financially. So I guess they connected. They had a few things in common, but I didn't feel the connection with them personally. So we'll see about that one. Liz and David go on a date. Actually, Liz goes to David's house. So this is the second date we see where the woman goes to the man house. So in my opinion, I'm feeling like those relationships have blossomed way more than we see. So I'm not sure from the last episode to now, like how much time has passed. But like I was saying earlier, like you have to be like pretty comfortable with somebody for them to come to your house, I would think. But you know, maybe I'm wrong. But this is the second couple. So Liz goes to David's house again. It's a very nice home, and we remember their connection from the very first episode where they sat down and they were singing that spiritual song. I believe that was them two. So when I saw Liz going to David's house, I already knew like, okay, this is a better fit for Liz because of that spiritual connection. So he kind of breaks down like how he grew up. So he grew up very spiritual and Christian, and couldn't have girls come over, couldn't have girls call the house, you know, so and so and so and so. He goes to college, and he kind of breaks away from the church, but as he said, not from God, but just from going to church kind of regularly, you know, in that sense. Let's see, Liz expressed that she hasn't been in a commitment for over 17 years. And she says she has situations, but not really a commitment, where it was going to lead to marriage. Again, David expresses, you know, his first marriage, he was young. The second marriage, he said she literally walked out on him. And he kind of got teary-eyed when he was trying to express that he just wants someone to love again. He has so much love to give. And which he looks like he's waiting to like show somebody that love. So I can totally see what he's saying. And he kind of got, you know, like I said, teary-eyed when he was just trying to express like he really wants this so bad. And I really can see them two going to the end. But again, we're on the fourth episode, so we have to see how it plays out. But right now, they seem like more of a good fit. So now we get back to the ladies' lounge to discuss everyone's likes and dislikes about the guys. So they do a rundown about who everyone likes. So again, we talk about Vernisha. She is super blushing over her date with Joel. Liz talks about David and her connection. Yeah, Liz talks about David and her connection with him, and how she connected with him because of how he talked about his past relationships and how he expressed himself in that way. Amber likes Chris still, and Chrysanthemum says that Ronald checked all the right boxes for her. Not sure I agree with Chrysanthemum. She just seems like she's just gonna go with whatever guy vibes with her, she's gonna go with. You know, she doesn't seem genuine to me. Like, I like her, but I'm still trying to figure her out. But she doesn't seem genuine, in my opinion. But we'll see. I could be wrong. So then they get into some of the ladies, guys that they dislike. And Stacy expressed concerns about David, and she was ready to spill the beans because you could see that she was waiting for Tommy to ask her, because she was like, you know, I guess it was a lot of stuff we didn't hear in that conversation when they were at the Pilates, because she said that he wanted to, you know, share the Instagrams and the passwords, and then she said bank accounts. And I don't remember him saying that in the shot in the scene, so I'm guessing there was a lot more to that conversation, which I kind of figured that we didn't get to see. But bank accounts, and I guess, you know. So anyway, she wasn't happy about all that, and some of the ladies was not happy about hearing that either, or at least they acted like they were shocked about it. But Liz says that that's not going to deter her about David. She feels that once you marry, you should be sharing everything. So she said the way she was raised, that's not a hard concept to follow. So that didn't really do nothing to her. Vernisha is not feeling AJ and Troy. Kyra is not feeling David. And Liz also, again, not feeling Choi. She don't like when he kissing on everybody, which we have expressed, or some of the ladies have already expressed that they not feeling that. So like I said in the beginning of the video, seems like our boy Choi is about to be gone. And I hope I don't have a goose egg on my face after this, because they better get rid of his ass, like ASAP. Yes, y'all, they got rid of Troy. Thank God, because I was like, if they get rid of David for Troy, they gonna regret that. But yes, they got rid of Troy. Alexis talked to David about how they feel. The ladies feel like he brings his past into the present, and I feel like he's a little defensive about that, because he feels like his past shapes his current future, and I get that as well. But I do feel like, in my opinion, when I look at him, I still feel the pain. I still feel like he's not over what happened in the past. So he might not feel that way, but I feel it, and I think that's what the ladies feel. And he doesn't really seem like he's open to that criticism. He just feels like, you know, that's how he's gonna be in his relationship, in his marriage, and that's just what it is. So, the only relationship I see him going forward with at this point is Liz. So if that doesn't work out, he would be like the next one gone. So they talked to Troy, and of course Stacy expresses what all the ladies have talked to him about, which is he kisses too much, he's touchy-feely, and they're not comfortable with it. So you got to go home. And again, I'm getting the sense like he don't give a, like, he's still gonna do what he do, and it is what it is. But it is what it is, and you off the show. So you guys, that was my review for Ready to Love episode 4. It's okay. Like, I'm not, I don't want to keep comparing seasons, you guys. I really don't. But I don't know. Last season was just a banger. Like, I loved everybody on there. It just gelled. And this season, I don't know. I don't know. It's warming up, but it's not. Like, this episode, I don't know. We'll have to see, you guys. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Tell me what you think. Comment below, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Oh, before I forget, if you happen to watch this, please look out for my Real House of Atlanta reunion video. I will be filming Sunday, probably Sunday night, and editing on Monday. So I will be putting it up on Monday. So please look out for that. I will be dressing up. The theme was the dungeon, and so I will be dressing like the dungeon, like the ladies. It will probably be like a black gown, not a gown, but something. I don't know. But yes, please be on the lookout for that, because I'm going to do it up, because I love Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I've never done a review besides my other review, which was the taglines. But I'm going to start doing reviews on Real Housewives for next season. But yes, please check out my next video, Real Housewives reunion, because I will be dressing up like the ladies. So yes, again, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on the next episode again. All right, bye.